And I can say this without fear of contradiction. I would not be standing here as president making these awards were it not for Jim. I mean that sincerely. And neither of us would be standing here without Emily Clyburn, a woman of enormous character who we all miss. We're a great nation, Jim, because we have good people like Jim and Emily Clyburn.
President Biden awarded Congressman Jim Clyburn with the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award on Friday. It's the highest honor bestowed on any civilian in the U.S. The White House says Clyburn, quote, transformed the lives of millions of Americans and created a freer country over the last 3 decades in Congress. And Democratic Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, the awardee himself, joins us. He's also a surrogate for the Biden-Harris 2024 presidential campaign. I got to give a quick shout out of congrats to my friend, the Honorable Jim Clyburn.
Yes, congratulations, sir. I mean, truly, the highest honor. Can we talk about the award ceremony and the Presidential Medal of Freedom? You received it along with 18 other distinguished individuals. Can you just take us inside this moment that we are seeing? What did it feel like? There's only a very small group of people in this country that have ever had this experience. And when we all found out that it was you, in my house, I'm an honorary South Carolinian, and it is a great day for South Carolina. Take us into this moment.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks, all of you, so very much for the support you've given me over the years. You have been great. I'm sitting here in Orangeburg County, a county that Michael knows very well.
I know very well, Congressman, very well.
And as I sat there, in fact, from the moment I received the phone call from the president, I really thought a lot about my parents. They made significant sacrifices, endured a lot of indignities in order to position me and my siblings, which we've tried to pass on to our children, the qualities that are necessary to do our part in helping to make this country a better place. I like to say to fulfill our pursuit toward a more perfect union. It is a great country. In no need of being made great. We've always got to keep working to make the greatness of this country accessible and affordable for all of its citizens. And that's what I was thinking about, looking in the faces of my 3 daughters and my 2 grandchildren and my great-grand. My granddaughter was there holding her 1-year-old. I thought about all of that and what a family effort it's been to get me to this point.
What a beautiful, beautiful reflection, sir. And just to echo Simone and Michael, many congratulations to you. What an incredible honor in the same week that you were with the President of the United States at the White House receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. You got the former president at a private donor event likening the Biden administration to the Gestapo. Let me read you just a little bit of that reporting. These people are running a Gestapo administration, Trump said, according to audio of the luncheon provided to NBC News. And it's the only thing they have. It's the only way they're going to win, in their opinion.
That is just incredible, but it's not surprising. This president is given to hyperbole on every subject that he ever approaches. He has an understanding of this country that I thought we left behind more than 100 years ago. But, you know, as I watch things happen in the country today, I've been hearkening back for some time now to the 1876 presidential election and how this country got off track after the Civil War, how we got into Jim Crow. And I want to remind your listeners that the presidency of Rutherford B. Hayes came into being by 1 vote. Jim Crow became the law of the land by 1 single vote. A committee vote of 8-7 launched us into Jim Crow. I'm the 9th African-American to serve in Congress from South Carolina. There were 8 before me. But the problem is there were 95 years between number 8 and number 9. Why? Because the country got off track after that 1876 election, And we are approaching the same kinds of elements today, the same kind of rhetoric that we're hearing from Donald Trump. It's the kind of rhetoric that took place in that election, more at the state levels. Wade Hampton ran that kind of campaign that led to the takeover of all the southern states by the so-called redeemers. That is the kind of rhetoric that's taking place today. I've been telling all my friends in the Congressional Black Caucus, I wish you'd take a little time and just take a little read of all of what was being said back in 1876 and think about what took place on January 6, 2021. It's exactly the same thing. The words are different, but the meanings are the same. The phrases are so identical. And if we're not careful in this country, and I know that I've been hearing today what the Democrats need to do. No, this is not just the Democrats. This is about the voters in this country maintaining what this country is all about, doing what we can to fulfill the great promise of this country. And it's still a promise, an unfulfilled promise. Joe Biden talks about it all the time, talking about redeeming the soul of America. And that is what is necessary. He quoted me, I think, on Friday, because I like to talk about Alexis de Tocqueville's notion that this country's greatness is not that we were more enlightened than any other nation, but because we have always been able to repair our faults. There are some faults in this country that need to be repaired. And Joe Biden has been working very hard to repair those faults. Student loan debt, repairing a big fault. Doing something about our climate, a big fault. And I don't quite understand young people who say to me, Joe Biden is not doing this and he's not doing that. He is doing a great deal. Let us all pitch in as Americans and continue that effort rather than turning the clock back to where that dark place in our history that none of us ought to ever want to revisit. But that's exactly what's going to happen if we're not careful. I used to tell my students when I was teaching history, I always said to them all the time, anything that's happened before can happen again. And that's what we got to be careful for as we pursue this country's greatness.
All right, Congressman Jen Clyburn, thank you so much for being with us. And congratulations again, my friend. What a great honor for the great state of South Carolina and for our great nation. We've got another hour of the weekend after.